what has really changed. By Krishna's mercy, Devi hi esha gunmayi, mam maya duratteya, mam eva ye prapadyante, mayam etam taranti te. Quote, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita 7:14.
This is something that has crossed my mind lately, only because of behavior I see playing out in the younger generations. To me, they are the first ones to show such a brazen lack of respect for the people who came before them. If you mention a respected founder of the country, for instance, they almost laugh at you. They have targeted some blemishes in the character of such people, and so anyone from the past is dismissed immediately. What I have been thinking about is this idea of progress. Consider something like innovation, wherein society at large benefits. Because of someone's sacrifice, their dedication, their repeated attempts after consecutive failures, people now do things completely differently. The smartphone, the washing machine, launching men into outer space, the shopping cart, the swivel chair. These are but a few examples. These are all things that had to be invented. There was study. There was consideration and deliberation. There was pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable at the time. But where does that lead? If I invent something which changes the way people live, what will that get me? I don't think there will be any appreciation. A local government might name a bridge after me, but then people will curse my very existence every time they are stuck in traffic on that very same bridge. People will just exploit whatever it is I create. I don't think I will get any credit. This is not to say I am against good behavior or helping your fellow man. Charity and benevolence are time-tested. They are mentioned in scriptural texts for a reason. For instance, installing a well in a rural community goes a long way towards helping people. They will be able to find water to drink. There is a direct impact made on sustaining life. But how do any of these other so-called advancements help? There won't be any long-term appreciation. The people benefiting will be just as unhappy in the future as they are today. They might even become more unhappy, as we see all the focus on mental health today. Addiction to technology certainly plays a role in that. Do you see what I'm saying?
In this regard, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada asks, what can you change? The suggestion is to travel back in time. Choose an arbitrary number, 100 years, 200 years. Now think of what people were doing. What was their daily life like? What were their aspirations? What were their frustrations? What did they have to contend with? Well, people in any period of time deal with the weather, the changing of seasons, the bitter cold of winter and the scorching heat of summer, the boundless opportunity symbolized by the spring season and the winding down of activity symbolized by the leaves falling from trees in autumn. The cycle continues like a wheel that keeps spinning. This review is not meant to dampen spirits, but rather to trigger a reassessment of priorities. Just what exactly will we be able to change? What kind of innovation will spark a reconfiguration of nature itself? Will the seasons still not arrive on schedule? Will not the wrongdoers get punished for their misdeeds? Will not the pious get rewarded for their kind acts? Avashyam labhate jantuh phalam papasya karmanah ghoram paryagate kale drumah pushpamivartavam. Quote, just as a tree starts to blossom during the proper season, So the doer of sinful deeds inevitably reaps the horrible fruit of their actions at the appropriate time. Lord Rama, speaking to Kara, Valmiki Ramayan, Aranyakand 29:8. Bhagavad-gita explains that the material nature is difficult to overcome. The living entities are struggling within that nature.
Of this there cannot be any doubt. At every moment we are being harassed.
I made the mistake of eating too much peanut butter yesterday, and so last night there was a steady disturbance to sleep caused by mucus build-up. This morning I cannot enjoy the sun shining in the window because I have an emergency to take care of at the office. I must wake up the other members of the household, encouraging them to be responsible in meeting their own deadlines. Better to transcend that nature by worshipping the person who controls it. Better to make meaningful progress in the journey of the individual who is always timeless. I will continue to exist in 100 years. I can shape my destiny. I can choose which destination to call home. Jalthal nabgati amit atiyag jag jeev anek, tulsi to se deen kahum ram naam gati ek. Quote, there are an infinite number of living beings, both moving and non-moving, who have many different abodes, with some residing in the earth, some in the sky, and some in the water. But, O helpless Tulsi, for you, Sri Rama's holy name is your only home. Dohavali 37. This is the message from the Acharyas of the Vedic tradition. You cannot change material nature, but you shouldn't need to. There is nothing to be gained by the endeavor. No matter how much power you have, no matter the level of authority you wield over a given population, eventually things will return to the way they have always been.
Rather than remain stuck in that perpetual cycle of attachment and aversion, of swinging between the dualities of like and dislike, make this the final round.
Become conscious of the Supreme Lord, place his interests at the highest priority, and easily cross beyond the otherwise confining fortress that is the material nature. In closing, like vast fortress to confine, weigh material nature to define. What really can we do? A force, powerful and true, steady in the pursuit of gain, but eventually left as the same. Better towards controller of all, worship such that no more to fall.